Hi, and welcome to Software Sales University. The topic we're going to be talking about today is both the mid-market and enterprise sales process overview. So I've broken this down into simple to follow steps. It's going to be taking up basically this entire 3 minutes, but we're going to run through step by step the mid-market and enterprise sales process within my ad tech company that I work with, that I kind of pioneered on my own with feedback from managers, etc. So we're going to start with number one, vetting. Understanding what vetting ultimately means, understanding who within the organization evaluates new vendors, and then trying to understand what sort of perspective we're going to introduce to that contact in order to prompt a meeting. Next, we're going to introduce a new strategic priority gap. So what we're going to do is we're going to align our content with the strategic priorities of the business at the C level or the board level, and then essentially find out how they're satisfying those board level objectives. Next, we're going to be going into, after we set that meeting with the perspective, we're going to go into the pre-qualification call. So the pre-qualification call is to determine if they're in a position and willing to evaluate our solution as a potential vendor for the process that we're associated with. And that is utilizing a question funnel in order to determine if this is a legitimate opportunity right now. In order, number one, what I do is I ask the question, is it business as usual? If so, does that mean you're in growth mode? From there, how are you tracking and quantifying success at the business level? So what is the business KPI? From there, what is the marketing KPI that drives that business metric or business KPI? And then ultimately, are they open to evaluating a solution to drive that marketing KPI? And then that's when we just set up a discovery call, or we can just transition right into the discovery call from there. So the discovery call or discovery step is to surface the buying criteria and form the value concept and agreement to evaluate us as a potential vendor. And we use that question-based selling or a question funnel in order to do so. So in my ad tech space, ultimately the value concept that we're trying to impart is this. If we're able to focus your marketing dollars on undecided bottom of the funnel users, the effect that has is being able to drive a more competitive cost per acquisition or cost per lead, or a better return on ad spend due to a better conversion rate. So that is the value concept that we want them to adopt to then evaluate and test a pilot with us. And then in addition to that, with discovery, we're going to ask questions on the new customer acquisition process, design, and vendors. So how have they designed the new customer acquisition process right now to facilitate what type of leads? What vendors are they using for it and why they chose those vendors? Return on ad spend and attribution, KPIs, KPI goals, and how they're proving those out, and then ultimately solution thresholds. So we're going to get into the product call step after the next video here.